Kind of a fun fact for you, some of the albums that I think I like the most or dislike the most, depending, have kind of a similar color scheme. I'm noticing a lot of people aren't putting as much emphasis or innovation into their album covers. I'm going to give John Legend props for this. This is a colorful album. I really like that. I wish people would do more. Sidestep, let's get to the review. Bigger Love is the 7th studio album released by John Legend, or the 6th if you don't count the Christmas album. And today we're going to talk about that here on Y.E.S. John Legend has been able to pull off a lot of surprising things over the last few years, and he still is pretty dominant in kind of his category, and it's almost becoming niche, but it's also kind of broad. I hope I'm explaining that okay. It's awkward because I used to say that John Legend for the last few years has been kind of the only real dominant mainstream R&B singer. I don't really feel that way anymore. I feel like he kind of dabbles with R&B, mixing it with pop, and making it kind of this just neutral genre where we just get to hear his voice kind of thing. And I know I'm going to get slack for this, but there's a lot of moments where I feel like I am starting to become, I don't know if it's bored or dulled by John Legend's vocals. It's not that I don't recognize that they're amazing and beautiful. They are. It's just that there's a lot of times where I feel like I'm hearing kind of the same thing recently. Unless you are owning exactly what you have, and like I was kind of saying, he in a way has a niche kind of thing. It's mostly with his actual voice. But I feel like he needs to expand out. And he has a few moments in this album. And these are going to be the songs and moments where I'm going to say like, that right there is what you should be doing. And then there's a lot of the other songs in this album where I'm like, you're not doing this bad. It's just that you're not really switching the game up, or you're not really showing that you're owning this. He's just kind of doing it good. I'm actually going to start with what I think are either the negatives or the ones that he's doing well, but I'm not as impressed with first, just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm going for. And then we'll talk about the songs where I'm like, okay, now he's in his zone. The very first song, Ooh La, this one, neither the music nor the vocals are bad, but neither one of them sound like they're supposed to sync together. There are very few times where I find that in music, and it is so aggravating because I'm like, are other people hearing what I'm hearing? Because I'm bothered by it. I'm sure there's a number of people who just don't get that, where they're like, well, the music is good and the vocals are good, therefore the song is good. No, things have to be in sync in order for it to work. The next song is Actions, and I think a lot of people will want to enjoy this song because it samples a song that, well, technically it's a sample from a sample of another song, but anyway, it's a famous Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg song. Any takers? And while that's kind of cool, I didn't really see a purpose in needing this particular beat for this song. Personal opinion. The 5th song is titled Wild. This one was weird for me because I liked the song, but I don't think Legend himself should have been the lead vocalist for this song. The song You Move, I Move, this one, vocals are actually fine, but it didn't feel exactly balanced per se. The title track, Bigger Love, this is another one where I like the beat, but the vocals don't blend well with it. And then kind of everything else after that, besides the ones that I want to highlight, just kind of just don't stick with me. There's a lot of this where I just think, for a guy of Legend's repertoire and capacity to do amazing things vocally, I was pretty let down. Again, I have to emphasize, he's not actually doing a bad job. It's just the connection with the music and the vocals and some of the creative elements, they're not paying off. So there's a part of me that wants to take down, like more points per se because of that, But there's also a part of me that says, well, you can't take that much down because he's not technically doing a bad job. He's executing the elements separately, okay, but collectively, it's not really making a good team, per se. All right, I have 4 songs in here now that I would like to talk about because these are ones I would actually put in my playlist. The first one being I Do. This one's very groovy, and the only thing that I would say is maybe it could be a little repetitious lyrically, but if I'm in the zone, I probably am going to overlook that. The next one is titled One Life. This is a bit more of the funky R&B that I wish that he would really emphasize. I think he can take a really strong hold on this. I wish this is something that we could get a little bit more of, and I think that there's plenty of room to be able to innovate within this realm and that he could totally own. Next track I would like to highlight is Remember Us. It features the rapper Rhapsody. This one's kind of like a old school hip hop beat. I really like this. The only thing in here that's not a negative, it's just I want more of it. He's got trumpet in here, and it's very faded, and I think that if he projected it a little bit more, I think it would have benefited the song so much more. And then the last one I would like to highlight is Don't Walk Away. This one's got a tropical African vibe. This works for me. This is something where I'm like, if you experimented a little bit more, things like this would just pay off so much more for you, dude. So yeah, a lot of things where I'm just kind of not really loving it, but at the same time, I'm not trying to diss it so much. I'm just saying you can go higher and maybe just be a little more innovative. I feel like we're getting used to an idea of what John Legend is. I think that he can do more. So after having listened and reviewed this album, I'm going to give production an A, I'm going to give creativity a C, I'm going to give expression and lyrics a B, and if you were to ask me how would I recommend this album, I would still give this album a good. There's a part of me that really wants to be like a little harsher because of my disappointments, but I know that he didn't do really a bad job, but I have heard a lot of the disconnect with some other people who have listened to this album this year. I feel that, but I can't totally butcher it down all the way. I'm trying to be fair. I really am. So that's what I'm going to give it. But, it's like the lower end of the good. He's still talented. I just hope we can get more next time around. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow me in my social media links down in the description below. And be sure to leave a like for the video as well as a comment down below if you want to engage with me. And remember, if you want to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you can get that yes in your life. See you next time.